Chicago Bears breaking news, Family Fest highlights, and training camp drama. Chicago Bears fans, big news from Soldier Field. The Bears held their annual Family Fest, and it was a packed house. Around 27,000 excited fans showed up to see their team in action, and the energy was electric. Before we dive into today's top updates, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss a single Bears update. We're bringing you fresh training camp coverage every day, so stay tuned and stay ready. Now let's get into it. Back to Family Fest. The Bears took the field in front of a huge crowd, but it wasn't the best day for the offense. The early part of practice looked a little slow. Reports say things didn't really click until the end, when a few exciting plays finally brought the crowd to life. Even though it was just practice, it still felt good to be back in Soldier Field. The vibe, the fans, the atmosphere, it's always something special when Bears Nation shows up. Now let's talk injuries. Right guard Jonah Jackson returned to the field today after leaving practice early on Saturday, which is a great sign. But the Bears were missing three key offensive linemen, Karan Amegaji, Bill Murray, and Doug Kramer. Megaji's ongoing absence is a bit worrying. He's missing valuable reps, and the coaching staff definitely needs to see more from him. Elsewhere, Zach Pickens, Shamar Turner, and Jalen Johnson remain out. Turner and Johnson are expected to miss about a month each, so the Bears are already dealing with a tough stretch of injuries early in camp. Now here's something interesting. Rookie Odunze Cooper and Ozzie Trapilo took all the first-team reps at left tackle today. Meanwhile, Braxton Jones ran with the backups. Just yesterday, offensive line coach Chris Morgan mentioned rotating guys at the tackle spot, but today it was all Ozzie. That could be a big hint. Maybe the coaches have already made up their minds on who's leading the battle at left tackle. We'll keep a close eye on that, because decisions made during camp are going to shape the entire season. Let's be honest, the idea of a rookie starting at left tackle in Week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings, it's a little nerve-wracking. You're talking about throwing a young player straight into the fire against one of the more aggressive defenses in the league, with Brian Flores dialing up pressure from every angle. That's a serious test. But here's the twist. If Ozzie Trapilo is truly outplaying Braxton Jones, then he should start. Period. Experience matters, yes, but so does performance. And so far, Ozzie looks like he's earning his spot. This isn't about Braxton being bad either. He's been solid. Not elite, but dependable, and those kinds of linemen are tough to find. So for a rookie to come in and legitimately challenge him, that says a lot. It's not just hype, it's a real competition. And if Ozzie wins it, that could turn out to be a steal of a pick for Chicago. Now let's shift to today's practice, because it wasn't pretty. After showing real progress in recent sessions, fewer penalties, smoother communication, and Caleb Williams starting to really command the offense, today felt like a step in the wrong direction. Head coach Ben Johnson didn't sugarcoat it either. He called the early part of practice sloppy. Mistakes, confusion, and a lack of rhythm plagued the offense for much of the day. Here's what reporters saw. Multiple pre-snap penalties, 2 delay of game calls, missed throws, and even a near interception that got tipped away at the last second. Caleb Williams looked a bit off, rushed on some plays, inaccurate on others. And unfortunately, that one bad throw, it's already going viral. Social media is running with it the same way it always does. His highlights? Crickets. But the moment something goes wrong, everyone's sharing it like it defines him. That's the pressure of being a top pick. One mistake becomes the headline. Still, one rough day at camp doesn't define the player or the progress. Caleb's been sharp all week. Today just wasn't his best. Let's face it, the spotlight isn't always fair. One off-target throw from Caleb Williams, and suddenly it's all over social media. That's just the nature of today's coverage. The bad moments trend. The good ones? They slip under the radar. But yes, that early throw, it was rough. The offense looked out of sync, especially during those opening drives at Family Fest. And yeah, it stings that it happened in front of a stadium full of fans. These are the moments everyone remembers, but in reality, every quarterback has days like this, especially in training camp. It's part of the growing process. One near interception came on a pass intended for Alamide Zakos, but credit where it's due, Tariq Stevenson made a fantastic play on the ball. Caleb probably could have placed it better, sure, but Stevenson read the route perfectly, closed in, and extended just enough to break it up in the end zone. That's a big-time defensive move, and it's exactly the kind of bounce-back play the Bears need from Stevenson this year. His rookie season had its ups and downs, but there's real hope he can take a leap in 2025. So while the Bears' offense struggled early, penalties, missed timing, sloppy execution, things eventually started to click. And when they did, it was electric. Late in practice, the Bears ran a 2-minute drill. They had just 51 seconds on the clock, starting from their opponent's 49-yard line. And Caleb, showing poise and command, orchestrated the drive with calm under pressure. 2 huge gains came from Dandre Swift and Zakos, setting the offense up inside the red zone. Then came the highlight, a strike to rookie tight end Colston Loveland on a quick slant for a touchdown. Let's take a second on that. Loveland isn't just catching passes. He's creating mismatches. His movement, especially for a tight end, is something Bears fans haven't seen in a long time. Clean routes, smooth acceleration, and a real red zone threat. No shade to Cole Kmet, but Loveland brings a different kind of dynamism. He's going to give offensive coordinator Ben Johnson a whole new layer to play with. So yes, the practice started shaky, but the finish, that's the part worth remembering. One thing is becoming crystal clear at Bears camp. Ben Johnson's offense is starting to show its identity, and it's looking dangerous. Let's talk about Colston Loveland again for a moment. This rookie tight end isn't just a safety valve. He's becoming a real weapon between the numbers. His route running, agility, and ability to create space are already opening up new possibilities for the Bears' offense. The way Johnson is lining him up, using motion, disguising his role, it's making life tough for defenders. If Loveland stays healthy, he's going to be a serious difference maker. And he's not the only one getting creative touches. DJ Moore, Chicago's WR1, took a handoff from 10 yards out and sliced his way into the end zone. That's not something you typically expect from a wideout, but in this system, it's by design. DJ's been getting more looks out of the backfield in camp, and it's not just for show. It's strategy. Johnson is turning motion into a weapon, keeping defenses guessing, is more running the ball, catching a screen, or sprinting deep. That level of misdirection is something the Bears have missed for years. Luke Getsy rarely used it. Shane Waldron tried, but the execution was shaky. Misaligned players, late motions, penalties, it just never clicked. Now it's different. Johnson's offense looks organized, intentional, dangerous. And then came what might have been the cleanest play of practice. The first team offense lined up against pressure, the defense showed blitz, and this time the offense didn't flinch. They read it perfectly. As defenders closed in, Cole Kmet slipped out into the open, and Caleb Williams dropped the ball right into his hands. Kmet strolled untouched into the end zone. It wasn't just the throw. It was the whole thing, the awareness, the timing, the design. Johnson anticipated the blitz, dialed up the right call, and the players executed it to perfection. That's what separates average teams from great ones, not just reacting to the defense, but dictating the play. There was a brief scare when Kmet tossed the ball in celebration a little early. Thankfully, he crossed the line before letting go. We've seen those mishaps before, but not this time. In short, this offense is starting to hum. Slowly but surely, the pieces are clicking, and if today's flashes are any sign, we might be looking at a version of the Bears we haven't seen in a long, long time. There's something quietly impressive about what Ben Johnson is building with this offense, and it's not just about flash plays or deep shots. It's the balance. Take Cole Kmet, for example. Even with Colston Loveland emerging as the exciting new pass-catching tight end, Kmet isn't getting lost in the shuffle. Johnson's clearly finding ways to keep both tight ends involved, and that makes the offense even harder to predict. While Loveland might stretch the field, Kmet is still going to rack up catches, move the chains, and be that steady target Caleb Williams can rely on. And speaking of fresh faces making an impact, Kyle Monangai punched in a touchdown today, a powerful run that had the offense rolling. Caleb handed it off, Monangai found the crease, and just like that, 6 points. Simple, efficient, effective. He might not be a starter, at least not yet, but Johnson praised him post-practice, saying he trusts what Monangai brings to the table. That matters. Because while this backfield doesn't have a clear star, it has depth. And that might be the Bears' secret weapon. Right now, d'Andre Swift looks like the lead option. He's having a better camp than most expected, but he's not alone. Roshan Johnson is still in the mix. Monangai is earning snaps. This could easily become a committee backfield, not out of necessity, but by design. The shared workload keeps defenses guessing and legs fresh. And more importantly, it gives Caleb Williams the support he didn't have last year. The run game has to work, not just to control the clock, but to open up everything else in the offense. Last season, too much fell on the quarterback's shoulders. That can't happen again. Now let's flip to the other side of the ball, because the defense owned the day. Reports across the board say it was the defense that walked off practice as the clear winner, and it started with a veteran making a smart, disciplined play. Montez Sweat read a jet sweep perfectly, crashing in and stuffing the play before it even had a chance to develop. That wasn't just instinct, it was film study, awareness, and execution. Sweat's been turning heads all camp. He dominated again yesterday, winning reps against Darnell, Wright, and showing exactly why the Bears invested so heavily in him. They're not paying him to be average. They're paying him to be a difference maker, and right now, he looks the part. And then there's Grady Jarrett, the seasoned vet, the anchor. He blew up a run play up the middle today, slicing into the backfield before the right guard even knew what hit him. Jarrett's presence brings leadership to this young defensive line, and moments like this show he's still got plenty left in the tank. So yeah, the defense might have stolen the show today. But if you're a Bears fan, that's exactly what you want to see. Both sides of the ball stepping up, challenging each other, and raising the level every single day. If there's one thing the Bears needed on defense, it was a voice, a presence, someone who could lead from the front and command respect. And that's exactly what they got in Grady Jarrett. He's not just making plays, he's shaping the culture. You can hear him on the field, always communicating, always coaching, always lifting up the guys around him. For younger linemen, he's becoming the go-to mentor. And for the entire front seven, he's quickly becoming the emotional anchor. While Kevin Byard is the clear leader in the secondary, Jarrett is quietly and loudly becoming the heartbeat of the defensive line. Don't be surprised if we see him giving those pregame speeches this season, fiery, emotional, and all heart. It's already starting to feel like this defense runs through him. Now let's talk about the kind of defensive play that sets the tone for a season. During a red zone drill, 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line, the Bears brought the heat. Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker both blitzed off the edge in a rare double safety attack. It was the kind of aggressive, high-risk move that says one thing: we trust our guys to make a play. And they did. The blitz forced a quick, off-target throw that got batted down. No touchdown, no yards, just pressure, timing, and execution. That's the benefit of having a defensive mind like Dennis Allen running things. He's not afraid to throw exotic looks at the offense, even in camp. And if it makes Caleb Williams uncomfortable now, good. Because every complex look he sees in August will make him sharper in September. These are the battles that shape a rookie quarterback, and the Bears are doing it the right way. And how about another big moment? Gervon Dexter came through in a goal line drill that started with the ball just inches from the end zone. The defense was backed up. The offense was supposed to punch it in, but Dexter had other plans. He exploded through the line, stuffed d'Andre Swift in the backfield, and recorded a safety. Sure, the drill was tilted in the defense's favor. That's the whole point. But the fact that Dexter blew up the play with that kind of urgency, that's the kind of impact the Bears are expecting from him this season. He flashed potential last year, started hot, then faded as the season wore on. This year, he needs to be consistent. They're not just hoping he breaks out. They're counting on it. And if moments like this are any sign, he might be ready to deliver. There's a different energy around Gervon Dexter this year, and it's not just hype. He's slimmed down, looks quicker off the snap, and is flashing the kind of versatility that could unlock a new dimension in this Bears defense. There's even talk of him getting some snaps at defensive end, and honestly, that could be a game changer if he keeps trending upward. But the defensive front wasn't the only group making noise during goal line drills. In a live rep that started at the 4-yard line, the offense tried to punch it in, and the defense shut the door. On third down, Tremaine Edmonds read the play perfectly and timed his jump to knock down a pass intended for Roshan Johnson. Then, on fourth down, Dayo Odunze came crashing through for a sack, ending the drive and stealing the momentum. It's especially encouraging to see Edmonds making these kinds of plays. After a rocky 2024 season, fans had reason to question his impact. But this version of him? Active, alert, disruptive. That's the Edmonds the Bears hoped they were getting, and if he's back to form, the middle of the field becomes a whole lot harder to attack. And it was great to see Odunze finally get his name called too. He's been quiet during camp, but this was a reminder. There's real depth on this defensive line, and anyone can step up on any given snap. Now, we can't wrap up today's action without mentioning the steady leg of Cairo Santos, the Bears' unsung hero. He was perfect today, drilling 5 field goals from 35, 39, 43, 47, and 53 yards. And sure, he doesn't have the biggest leg in the league. He's not going to hit from 58 or 60. But here's the thing, he's reliable, and that matters more than flash. Too many games in the NFL come down to a single kick. And time after time, Santos has delivered, including that unforgettable 51-yarder to beat Green Bay last season. He might not be built for the super long-range bombs, but when it comes to consistency inside 53 yards, there aren't many better. And after what this team lived through with kickers in the past, Santos's dependability is more than welcome. So today's practice? A mixed bag, but one full of storylines. A rising young defender, a bounce-back veteran, a trusted kicker, and an offense learning the hard way against a defense that came to play. That's camp. That's how teams grow. The Bears are off tomorrow, but they'll be back at it Tuesday, and if today was any sign, this team is building something worth watching.